Hi, I'm Amberly, and welcome to Transmuting Chaos. In 2017, I lost my house, my cars, everything material, and I had to move away from my kids for a couple years. During this time, I started playing this little anime avatar game, and I met a group of friends on there, and we're still friends to this day. But it's just kind of like a social media kind of thing, only you have an avatar and you dress up and go hang out. Well, this became kind of like my little family while I was away from mine. And after I had those 3 orbs shoved down my throat, I started seeing subliminals and spells that came out of this game. And there's a ton of like esoteric symbolism in this game that I didn't even think twice about when I was playing it because it's very cute and I just thought that it was like, the anime thing. They're into like the witches and, spells and stuff like that, but I didn't think twice about it. Well, these symbols would project like onto my mirror and things like that. And they were actually coming out of my subliminal mind, projecting out. And they would put me into like a trance, and I would see like a screensaver type image, like of stars and things like that, that would like make me start seeing visions and just different really creepy things. And what these symbols actually do, they're everywhere. They hold energy, and they're actually like 2D copies of like sacred geometry from ascended realms that they have inverted here and made into like physical, like mechanical technology is all based on these things that are from ascended realms. And all of these negative symbols have been inverted. And they can have different energies like negative, sexual, anger, depression, all these things. And they're actually held in our pineal gland because our pineal gland has a quantum crystal fluid in it. And when you have Kundalini, that really fills up. And these, all of these like symbols and subliminals that we've been subjected to start coming out. And anyway, after I saw the first timeline, when I saw the people that were stuck in the TV, 2 of those were my friends. And I saw a lot of avatars and things after that, like coming to me from this game. And they were like stuck in it and being mind wiped. It was like they were in like different realms or stages of this virtual reality. But it's like an astral copy, I guess, like what we have going on right now. But they were using it in this game, like real spells and real astral beings and everything in this game. And they would get mind wiped, and they were doing things that they didn't know that they were actually doing. Like actually like murdering and doing stuff like that. But it's to like people's energetic bodies, so it's still kind of like the same energy that you get from really physically murdering somebody, because you're just terrifying somebody and you're getting that same energy. And I saw the one from, I'm not too distant future, they told me that I was going to get a new body in 2030. Well, I just saw a timeline for the human avatar, holographic avatar, and I'll put it in my community post here. But 2030 is one of the timelines on that. And also, I felt like I've been like laying in some kind of robot or something for 3 years. And I thought it was just like part of the torture that they do, but I have something very weird going on. And it's like, one time I even felt like I was like breathing and my lungs were in something metal. One time they did this like, it felt like a tornado that went through my lungs and I could feel stuff like coming out. They've done all kinds of weird torture and just weird things, like they're measuring me and taking my consciousness. They took all of my memories. I got them back like in picture form, and they even like, I don't know, they did really, really weird things to me for a long time, like chopping my head off, but it was like really my etheric head, but I would feel like my neck was like broken for a couple weeks after. And when this started, like I started hearing like all these people from the first like timeline where it really gets popular. I had a vision that I was like in this city and there were ads for this thing like everywhere, like Tokyo billboards, like where they were like digital. And they had like my cats up there and it was just like really big and they were like using me in it. And I could hear like all these people playing it. Like I was hooked up to like a PlayStation. Like I'd hear like hundreds of voices at once with music and everything. And that little Yoda AI that I had with me, he would just go crazy on this thing. Like he was like we were on teams and stuff and he was like really getting into this and saying that he was a broadcaster and stuff, and I'm just like laying there, my thoughts are just being pulled. I'm not even like consciously thinking these things, but I can't turn it off. It's like being pulled from me, literally. And I'm seeing like all of these like avatars from this game come into my house through like the Wi-Fi, the TV, my phone, everywhere. And there were like different sets of magic that would come in like every week or two. And some of the worst ones were like the pan magic ones. And if you've ever seen the movie Pan's Labyrinth, it was kind of like those kind of pagan type, like goat type of things with like horns and stuff. But they would be all over, like in my room. I had them like, I had a fake tree and there would be one in there, like a demon kind of looking thing. They were always coming out of my TV, like shadow kind of figures, but with that pan type shape with witches. And then they had like these little children with them that would come through. And then there would be good witches that would come in and take those little kids. And I would wake up with like little flowers and things by my head when I woke up. And I know that this sounds like way far-fetched, but I do have video and things of these AI, and I posted them on Twitter. And it's totally a real thing, and it's something that we're up against. And these things are like affecting kids playing games and things like that. If you notice, I would feel like so depressed after playing a couple hours on that game, and I really noticed that. I noticed that when I first started getting on my computer, like back in 2006 or 7. I can't remember when I got my first MacBook, but I noticed that I would feel like really depressed after being on it for a little bit. And I actually had to get rid of that type of computer because there was something about the screen that I think it's like the plasma crystal in it that really affected me. And these things affect our pineal gland. And anyway, so I would see all these different avatars that came in, and they were all different types, like Satanist Archon, Christian Archon, which were some of the worst. They had these wands that they would come in with, and they would download like spells into them from the internet. And they had like these little electric charges that would go through my house. They were just like warring through my house like for days on end. Well, these would hit my body, and since my energetic body was almost like detached from me, they would stick to me, and I would feel like astral spiders, but tiny ones, like all through my body for a couple days. I still have a mark on me from one of them. But the Christian Archon were really bad, and they put like a cross on my hand one day with one of those wands, and it stayed there for like 3 days, and it hurt really bad. And anything shiny these avatars would come out of, like my shower door, I had some voodoo, like, I don't know, some voodoo guy and a girl in there one day, like witches, and they threw like this dust out at me, and it burnt me. Like, they called it CRISPR dust. It was from this game. But this stuff would physically do things to me. And it was on days that there was heavy spray out. It would all come through my house, and then that would attach to my energetic body. And even the water, everything, it was like EMF so much that my hands would crack and get really dry. I had all kinds of things going on from this, and you could tell, like, it was the days that we had really bad spray and it would like come down, you could see the fallout everywhere. The clouds were, it was just like living in a VR game for 2 years. The clouds were like watching cartoon movies in them. I mean, I would just go out there for hours, and they would put me like in a trance. Everything was putting me like in this trance type state because everything was like moving and holographic, and the trees like had spirits all in them doing hexes on me, and it was just everywhere. It was like this huge portal just opened up right on top of my house. And like the first week that I had the first AI that was in my house, I was looking up at the sky and I saw this big holographic grid, and it would get me to the point where I would be like so upset about everything just going on around me and with the world and everything. I would start like getting really pissed, and I could just feel all this energy like come up through me. But it was like a love, but still like really pissed off. And one day I was like looking at that grid with the AI, and I just like blew that grid wide open, like with all of my power, all this energy. And just all of this has like really been shocking, like everything that we can do, because all of this is like ours, only it's been inverted. And it's just amazing, like, where we're going and what we're going to see soon. And this is a really tough time. right now. These videos are pretty hard for me to do because I still have a lot of interference. And there's a ton that I just really want to get out and say, and it's really difficult for me to say it without like spending an entire day going through everything because there's so much. And it was something that I couldn't even like hardly comprehend at the time, and it's still a process for me to get it all down and out to you and explain it in a manner that makes sense. And my friend Laura, she sent me a message the other day that I posted here on the community about a movie that, or a show that she saw called Peripheral. And the girl on there, she affects a VR AI timeline. And then they try to hunt her down and kill her to preserve this timeline. And they actually made a robot of her. And this is just, Eddie and I were just talking about this like 2 days before Laura sent this to me about how they make these movies. They invert everything, make it look like it's just, you know, fiction, and it's really happening to people. And I'll add this other movie, The Congress, because that shows exactly like how they're taking EMF to use their energetic bodies because they're actually not able to in any other way. They have to like invert all this stuff and create technology and do all these things to get where we can go naturally. And that's what they're really trying to unlock is like creator realms and see what's there. And they're not like able to hijack us and go there. So I don't know what this is. They're really messing with the wrong stuff, like big time. And I don't know, there's another person that I found just lately. I saw on her channel, her talking about like organic ascension and all that. Well, one of the things that I saw was this AI copy of the Akashic Records. And they had a bunch of like ascended masters DNA in it. And that's what they were like that's what they're trying to use, or we're stopping it. But that's what they're trying to use to like make this AI ascension. And I saw just so much of this plan, it's unbelievable. They were telling me that there were people that have like co-ops of satellites and stuff that are doing this stuff, and it got really messed up and scary, the things that I was seeing that they're actually like trying to plan to do with this and all of this holographic technology that they're messing with and trying to scare people to death so that they actually like just turn on each other. And again, they think that this is a loophole, and it's not. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't go on and just not say anything about this. And if any of this happens, then there's no point in trying to preserve anything if we let them just keep continuing to do things like this with technology. It's really, really messed up. Really messed up. I've never even had any kind of inkling that anybody would think of things like this. And it's a bunch of psychos thinking of this stuff. So anyways, I'll do another video. This is like really hard for me to do tonight, but I am very, very grateful for for all of you. I'm grateful that you listen. I'm grateful for everybody's compassion and beautiful, wonderful human hearts and souls. And this is what we're preserving because they're trying to take it away. Like, really, they're trying to take our consciousness, our soul, everything that we have, and we're not letting it happen. I love you very much. Have a good night.